So I'm going to do a video on something I don't normally cover, and that's because I want to move more into this realm of helping people financially, not just with business, but also in their personal lives and their jobs, you name it. And I think there's a lot of people in the world who need this, even people who are earning more than others. Whether you're earning very little, you don't really have a lot of budget, or you're spending most of your budget, you name it. There's a lot of people out there that need to learn how to conserve, how to save, how to invest, even with very little capital. I want to go through some of these ideas. And I'm not a financial advisor. Do not take any of this advice and use it for yourself. This is just some suggestions I have for anyone that can use them at any time. Do not hold me accountable for anything you may apply, and contact a financial advisor or a financial institution before making any decisions. I want to say that, so I'm not obligated to be sued or anything like that. So do not listen to me. Anything I'm about to say, do not listen to me, or anything I have said, do not listen to me. I can't be held accountable. Now, if someone is looking to save money, earn more money, really just have more money in their bank account, have more money in their savings, in any investment form, and they just really want to feel more secure and more comfortable because they don't have a lot of money right now. I'm going to go through some important things someone could do. First of all is reducing consumption, whether it's consumption of any addictions, alcohol, booze, smoking. Alcohol and booze are the same thing. Smoking, drugs, pop, junk food. Reducing consumption of goods, of clothes. You know, some people are addicted to buying clothes. I know my girlfriend is. Just about anything and most things people consume too much of. They think they have to have the best service plan. They think they have to have the best Netflix plan, the best this, the best that. They have to have 10 pairs of shoes. They have to have all these different things to make them happy. And across the board, it's been found that the more you have, it does not make you more happy. The more money you have, you can feel more secure, but your happiness levels do not go up. That has been established again and again in many studies. So if someone wants to both be happier and save much more money, whether you're making or around the poverty line, whether you're far above it, often even people near the poverty line still waste a lot of money on things they don't need. I think the average person below or at the poverty line spends $1,000 to $2,000 a year on lottery tickets. That is a waste of money. You know, buying excess clothes, buying excess junk food, you name it. Any of these different things, while they may be some comforts, while they may make you temporarily happy, wherever you're at in life, you want to make sure you aren't buying things that you don't necessarily need or will most likely never use. So it's important for people to reduce consumption. You know, personally, while I may have the money, I don't buy 10, 20, 30 pairs of shoes. I don't go out buying stuff all the time. I don't need to. I have what I have with my family, friends, and my wonderful girlfriend and my pets that makes me happy. I just got this new chair because I wanted it and my back was hurting with the other one. This one's much more comfy. I like the look of it. It's nothing crazy. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on it. I spent a little bit of money on it, but I also spent within my affordability of what I can. So that's another big thing, is not just reducing your consumption of just about anything that you normally consume, probably more than you probably should, or more than someone probably does. What you also want to do is watch, not just reducing consumption, but watch that you're spending your money wisely. So a lot of the times, the money people put towards buying access at this, access at that, getting a bunch of junk food, getting a bunch of this, which don't argue with me, getting junk food is much more expensive than buying whole foods, depending on what it is. So if you're buying beef, you're buying pork, you're buying any kind of meat versus many different foods, it costs quite a bit. So for example, if I buy a bag of Doritos for $4, which lasts me 10 seconds because I eat the whole bag in one sitting, I could buy a whole pound of beef, or I could buy like 3 pounds of chicken. There's a big difference. So this is one comparison. But that money that most likely you are spending in places, even if you're not making much, you're probably spending some money in places you don't have to. Even small amounts of money invested in cryptocurrency, in stocks, in some kind of just saved, just money just saved. You don't have to spend all your money. Just investing small amounts of money, a couple dollars to $5 to $10 every paycheck, $20 every paycheck. That's what my dad did. My dad invested $20 for, I think it was 5 to 10 years, $20 every paycheck, which everyone can afford, $20 every paycheck into Minnesota Electric Power. That is now worth, I believe, it's either $10,000 or $20,000 because And he made these, lots of them, but many small commitments, many small investments into something that he could afford. So while you may think you don't have that much money, the little amounts of money you do have can be invested and grown, especially if you reduce your consumption. Especially if you make sure what you do consume is things that are good for you that you actually need. So reducing consumption. Number 3, buy in bulk. If you buy food in bulk, you save money. So if you buy, larger amounts of items, you save money. Now they're discounted because you're buying a larger amount of something. So if you buy the larger bundle of macaroni and cheese, I love macaroni and cheese, don't get me wrong, it is cheaper than buying individual boxes. So buying in bulk is something that can save a lot of money. Buying foods that are cheap, more cheap, like potatoes. You can buy a sack of potatoes that's 25 pounds of potatoes, I think, for like $5. So there are foods and ways and things that you can consume that you already are. For example, food's expensive. You can consume less in electricity. If you're really hard on money, that's what we did when my family was broke years and years and years ago. We reduced our electricity bill, we reduced our water bill, we reduced how much we consumed food. We didn't starve ourselves, but we reduced all the junk we ate that we didn't need to. We made sure we bought in bulk. We made sure we conserved everywhere we could and made small investments everywhere we could. By making those small investments, by conserving as much as possible, by not being a complete non-stop consumer in many, many different ways, even if you have the money, you don't need to consume non-stop. And that could be clothes, it could be food, it could be with your service plans, it could be with anything. Reducing consumption, reducing what you spend on things that are necessary. Don't get me wrong, do once in a while, when you get paid, indulge yourself some, enough to give you a boost, but don't waste and blow all of your money. That's the biggest thing that people do, all the way up to making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. There are people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year who don't have as much money as someone making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year because they spend it all. And there's people who are making $20,000 a year who have more money than people that are making $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, because they still don't spend it all. Now, when you're making less and less and less, it is hard. And a lot of the times, it's not always your fault. So that's where, if someone's working a job, they're in a career, whether they have a business, you name it, but most likely more towards the job and they have a career. What you want to do to really make sure you have as much money as possible, ask for a raise. 70+% of people who ask for a raise get one. Try to work at a higher paying position at your current job. Move to a different job in a different company that pays you more. Work overtime. There's a variety of different things you can do to save, keep, and retain more money that you can use to invest, that you can use to just save in your accounts, that you can use for the important things, important bills you have. That's which leads me to my last point, that you do not want to put too much money in credit cards and credit debt. You want the smallest amount you can afford of credit debt, because credit debt, especially with credit cards, with loans too, but mostly with credit cards, the interest rates are so high, you are literally burning your money away. If you pay the minimum bill on a credit card, it takes a minimum of a year and double what you owe in order to pay it off if you're just paying the minimum. So please, someone who's smart would choose to not build up lots of credit debt, pay things off in full so you don't owe more and more and more later on to a point that you can't even handle your payments. So those are some things at the top of my head. Nothing crazy, just useful, actionable advice and things someone could do to save money, conserve money, use some for investing in whatever they wish and what they think's right. Don't listen to me, don't listen to anything I'm saying. And to just make more money in general. So there's just thoughts at the top of my head. Again, don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just speaking to my dog over there. I'm not talking to you. I'm speaking to my dog over there. Don't listen to me. This is not financial advice. Those are things at the top of my head. Have a great day. And I'll see you in another video very soon.